because that's what I did at home. I didn't collect. You ready to get sick? We used to take the Star Trek props and turn them over and use them for stat pads. That paid off my house. Who knew? So, he's got a couple real ones, and we've got some repros for sale over there, but I had one Tribble, and I traded it off for an air compressor about 30 years ago. I still got the air compressor. Who knew that a ball of fur was going to be worth anything? It's just, I don't think, in retrospect, that any of us that worked on the original Star Trek realized exactly where it was going to go. We always, toward the end of the season, especially the end of the second season, we were trying to figure out, are we going to get picked up? How are we going to get picked up? And we finally got the word that we did. And in the third season, it became political comments, and it kind of went downhill. It lost some of it. I worked on the Next Generation in the first season for about 4 months, and they were doing thin rewrites of the old scripts. They did a Tholian Web again, and they had the captain in a little roll-around chair. And all they were doing was thin rewrites, and they hadn't developed cast characters, and they hadn't really developed their own style yet. And then they finally went on to do it. It was a great cast, and the worst crew I ever worked with. They were terrible, and they did it deliberately.
With Star Trek kind of being ahead of itself a little bit, how hard was it to come up with props?
Oh, it was, in a way, it was easy. It's kind of hard to have anybody call you a liar because they weren't there as far as 400 years in the future. So let me give you an idea. We were on stage 9, I think it was 9 and 10 at Paramount, and down in the basement were old pieces of, from the staff shop was a plaster shop. And they would have these beautiful round turnings. Guys would laminate the wood. They make these big pilasters that they would use for master molds for plaster stuff, okay? They were going to throw them out. We got them, and we sawed them in half. We put them up on the wall and painted them funny colors. There'd just be this shape on the wall, okay? And there's one, Spock's brain. It was and there was another one we did where I'll bet you 12 Quatloos. I'll see your Quatloos and raise your snort. Those things were fiberglass balls for lighting fixtures, and we had them sandblasted so they had a rough contour. In Spock's brain, if you look off to the left wall, there's this big panel. It's a piece of black bakelite painted with coffee cup lids glued on it. And we went down and got it at the cafeteria in town, and Cliff Burry, the standby painter, painted. So a lot of the stuff we did, we would go, there was a video shop, we'd go and get some of the packing, the styrofoam packing things, which were just weird shapes, and we couldn't glue them on the wall, because the glue would melt, so we had to put down like a washer, put a nail in, and then glue that to the wall. And then in the corners of the hallway, as you went down the hallway, there'd be these various pieces of pipe hanging out. Well, John, during Korea, was on the Kearsarge carrier. So what we did is we get Letraset and we rub on Letraset, GN 107, GN. Finally somebody says, what is GN? And we said, it goes nowhere, it does nothing. But you gotta look close. We had fun. We would try to, we would set up stuff. A couple of months ago we were down at one of the, Columbus, at one of the sci-fi cons. Denise Crosby was there. And she was on the first season, and they'd always want her and Mike Warren Worf and all these people in the background doing nothing. So one day on rehearsal, I gave Dorn a Bissell vacuum, I gave her a can of spray wax and a rag, and I had them cleaning the set in the background on rehearsal. So Mike says, hey, come on down, Denise is going to be there. I walked up to her, I said, I have something for you, Mrs. Clark. She said, what's that? I said, here, clean the set. She said, you son of a bitch. She remembered. But yeah, we try to have fun sometimes because one of the things that happens when you work with a group of people 12 hours a day, 5 days a week, they become your family in a way because you don't see your family. By the time if you've got young kids, like John said, when his dad got home, he was already in bed. When he got up, his dad had already gone to work. He worked 6 to 6 plus the driving time in California. It's horrendous. So in a way, your immediate fellow employees became your surrogate family. You know, you found out that his wife is sick, and little things. You know, they become more than movie stars. They become people.